What is up, y'all? It's your boy Grant here from the Gooey Files, the host of Gooey Files. I'm here to talk about the fall off of J.Cole. Supposed final album from him. He said it was intentions of him of this being his last. So I'm gonna kind of get into that. Appreciate you guys. Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, so you too can share this video for others. But with that being said, I kind of want to get into it. So the big thing for me is that it being a double disc and this being something that is going to be considered that his last, I don't think it fully made the mark for me. I do think it was good though. Like, I feel this one is the best disc on here. I wish it was chopped down to about 10 sides, 10 songs each instead of 24, maybe like 10 or 9 for each disc. I love this one because it kind of puts more Cole songwriting on display. Like let me see. Like 2-6, Safety, Bunch Road Blues, Who the Fuck Is You, The Let Out. I think those are some of the more Cole creative tracks that I would like Cole. I wish Cole has done more of in his career, and more risk taking. This too is good as well. Let's see. I Love Her Again is one of my favorites on there. Now, with that being said, I kind of J. Cole is like if you took Nas and a bunch of other all-time level rappers and mixed them together, but like watered it down a little bit. He is accessible. He is a very good rapper. I think when it comes to album construction and concepts, I think that's where he struggles. I think there are a lot of risk on here as in terms of songs, not as much as an overall project outside of the fact that it is a double disc album that's very hard to pull off. I do give him that. But for me, this isn't really something that I would consider like a great way to go out on. I think it's good. And I think with Cole, people always talk about comparison. Why are you always comparing everything like that? If you are considering yourself to be the best, you're going to be compared to the best, right? If you consider top of your class, you're going to be considered to people in your class, and that's going to be a debate. That's going to be something that's going to be talked about. And I think a lot of people do with Cole is that they want it one way and not the other. Like, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want Cole to be shielded from all these things, but considered to be the best, and that's just not how it works. I think the biggest thing for me is that oftentimes I think Cole tries to impress people instead of being impressive. And when I say that, I think the type of songs that J. Cole makes, he makes a lot of songs that are like, okay, I'm clearly trying to show off my skills as a rapper, not as much to be, which is fine, but it feels more of the intention of doing that instead of it being a byproduct of making a good project. Like, if it's gonna sound like I'm kind of doing a word salad, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Like, oftentimes I feel like with J. Cole, he takes risk as a rapper, but it feels like he always defaults to the glory days. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the same stuff that made y'all love me, which is cool. And I think that's great. But his evolution in terms of artistry, it hasn't really, I feel like he's kind of been stuck. And like he's kind of hit a wall. Like, even with like his contemporaries, like And I'm bringing growth into this because number one, even though I sound like it can sound like a hypocrite for saying, well, y'all don't tell these other artists to grow. Nobody is as big as him besides two other people. He's claiming to be the best. So it's kind of like I have to kind of hold him to that standard. But I do think the album is good. Like what he did on the Let Out was very risky, but it ended up paying off, at least to me. I don't. I still have an issue with J. Cole and some of his bars when it comes to the LGBTQ community. Like I feel like they're kind of unneeded and they're kind of seen as filler. And I feel like he does that a lot, and he's kind of continued doing that, and I just really don't like that. The biggest thing I can say for Cole is that Cole will go down as a rapper that would probably be widely loved. Like he's a top 3 selling rapper. Like I'm not gonna act like he won't be widely loved, but I also do think the shadow of what's happened with him compared to his contemporaries like the Kendricks and the Drakes and everything like that, I think that's gonna forever be a shadow on him. And I also think for somebody of his caliber that is such a good rapper, the album making isn't as good as I would like it to be. For Your Eyes Only is still probably the best narrative that I feel like he has done. I think that is his best written project. The concept was very clear from front to back. KOD, I like how he experimented, but I just don't think he stuck the landing. I think the second half of the album is really great. Like Brackets, Window Pane, trying to think of the others, but you get what I'm saying. The Off Season is personally my favorite Cole album because it gives us a mix of everything, and it doesn't really try to. It's a mix of everything that I love from Cole, but it doesn't seem like he's trying to impress me as well. Instead of making music and doing his best and laying himself out there. Like Let Go of My Hand is one of my favorite songs by J. Cole ever. But overall, with Jermaine Cole, I think he is a very good rapper that he can't shake the ghost of his past. Like, I'm not gonna say he hasn't evolved as an artist, but at the same time, I feel as if he's been trying to rework his glory days too often, and which is fine. But in terms of when it comes to being the best or considering yourself the best, I think I had to take in evolution into that. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got. Let me know what y'all think of the album. My favorite tracks are Safety, The Let Out. What's the joint with Tim's and Future? Let's see. I Love Her Again. That's not the one, but Munchrow Blues, Who the Fuck Is You? I love all those tracks. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thanks.